This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm delighted to be joined by Austin Ammo Williams here in Texas. Austin, first and foremost, how are you? How is life?
Life is good. We back fighting again. I had a 10-month layoff, but now we back to the fighting and we back to the fun. You know, I sat back. I got better at fighting all around. You know, I do different things. I do boxing, capoeira, jiu-jitsu. I've learned a lot about combat. And now it's my time to have fun and show what I've done. Also, too, it's a great time for me to show my level of dedication. You know, a lot of fighters have taken steps back in this quarantine, in this time of COVID-19, for whatever the reason. They say their gyms closed or, you know, their sparring partners weren't available or things like that. I didn't take any steps back at all. None. 0 steps back. I actually multiplied myself as a fighter. So for now, you know, 2019 was supposed to be a very jam-packed year of fighting for me, and it's got pushed over to 2021. So it's just, I'm doing great because the fun has just begun. You know, just got a knockout in Mexico and going to get another knockout Saturday night. So it's just time to have fun. It's time to be rewarded for all the hard work.
Talk to me about kind of these past 8 or 9 months working through the pandemic. Austin, how have you found it on a personal level? Has it been difficult at all? Has it been easy? Talk to me about it.
Oh, it's been extremely difficult. It's been extremely difficult on all facets, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's been extremely, tough because I've always been an athlete. Even when I was in boxing, I was playing all sports, so I didn't know what it was like to sit around and not have events. I didn't know what it was like to sit around and not perform or not show my talents. And then when I discovered boxing, which is my passion, which is my calling, when I started fighting in 2015, we never went 2 months without fighting. So from 2015 all the way to 2019 early, I've been fighting over and over again, back to back, until I had to sit down for 10 months. That really challenged me a lot. But, I was so mindful as to how I could get better. I was so mindful as to how I could stay healthy. I was so mindful as to how I could come back better than everybody else, that I just always strive for different ways to work on myself, to work on my craft and abilities. And that was one reason why I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because I couldn't fight. But going against purple belts and blue belts and black belts, rolling and stuff, rolling is like, sparring, When I was going against them, and I had to be super careful because I couldn't get hurt. I couldn't get my arm broke. I couldn't get my wrist broke. I couldn't get my leg broke. Those nerves gave me the feeling of like a fight. So I've just found different ways to stay stimulated in that time.
Coming into Saturday night, there's no bigger card to fight on. Canelo-Smith fight one, which has got everybody around the world talking. With that in mind, do you feel like you want to make that statement? You want people to be kind of made aware of you once again and again? Just with a platform on offer to you, it's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Every single time I fight, I want to make a huge statement. I want to show who I am. I want to show I'm the best. Every performance I want to be on Canelo versus Smith, that is just like mind-blowing, especially to be on a card like this at 6-0. I'm definitely excited to make a big statement. And also, too, I think it'll be better for me to make a big statement because I fought on huge cards already where I had to deal with that, energy of like, oh my God, so many people gonna be watching. Now I've done it about 3 or 4 times, so now that I can kind of stay calm through the excitement of that, which allows me to think clearer, which allows me to perform better. So, yeah, this is definitely extremely amazing opportunity for me, and I want to perform. I want to get that world-shaking knockout. But I'm actually more clear-minded to get it. I'll be able to be in the zone more. I'll be able to be present more in the fight because my mind won't be going crazy or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited for this card, for this opportunity.
You share the card with a number of other young amateur stars who turned over in a similar period to when you did. When you're all in and around fight week, you're in the hotel, or when you see each other on fight night, do you try to better each other? Is that rivalry? I know you fight at different weights, but is there that kind of rivalry because you turned over at similar periods?
Yeah, you know what? I'm in a rivalry with every last boxer in the world. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're just starting at 1-0. I don't care if you're Canelo Alvarez. I want to show that I'm the best. So definitely, it's other prospects on my level right now. We are 6-0, 7-0, and I think this is a time where everybody's showing whether they're going to become a champion, whether they're kind of plateauing as a fighter, or whether they're going to, decrease as a fighter. And I just want to show, like, hey, I'm just starting. Most of you prospects have been in the game since y'all were babies, since y'all were kids. Y'all got that I started fighting at 5 years old story. I don't. I started at 19, and I'm further along in my journey than most. And I just want to show that, hey, man, I'm still new, and I'm still learning. And if I got this far with only 4 years of experience, then imagine where I'll be with 10 years experience. Imagine where I'll be with 6 years of experience. I'm taking so much in. I'm still a sponge. I'm still a baby. I'm still new, fresh in the game. So I'm just excited. After a certain amount of time, a fighter can only make so many changes. And for me, I'm still new, and I still am so malleable in the game. I'm just showing, like, hey, watch my fight from Miami to Mexico, and you'll see, like, huge leaps. And then watch my fight from Mexico to Saturday night, you're going to see crazy leaps. It's just like Ammo is the one that will be a champion, that will be a reigning champion in different weight classes.
Austin, talk to me about your opponent for Saturday night. What do you know about him? What are you in store for when you face him?
I know that he uses his jab. I know that he's game. He's young. He's here to fight. He was a great amateur. He won Golden Gloves Nationals, which is a huge accomplishment. He's only lost to undefeated fighters, and he's never been stopped before. And he's fought some tough fighters, which lets me know that he's durable. He's extremely tough, That's the biggest things that I know about him, but I know that I'm different. I fought a guy in Miami with I forget how many MMA fights he had, but I fought him, and he'd never been stopped before, but I stopped him. And I think that also boosted my rank a lot. So we definitely were on the search for a great fighter, somebody that had a lot of accolades, somebody who was game, somebody who was not a throwaway fight at all, a risk. We were looking for a risk. And actually, initially, we were looking for a 11-0 to 16-0. But everybody we contacted said it wasn't worth the risk at this time. I don't think the money was there for them, and that's fine. But this 9-3, as I said, he has double the amount of fights as me. He was a great amateur, and he's only lost to undefeated fighters by decision. So this would be an amazing statement for me to make, and a big risk for me to take.
Austin, there's two other things I want to touch on before I let you shoot off. Firstly, touch on the main event for Saturday night, Canelo versus Callum-Smith, a great fight, but what are your thoughts on it? Preview the fight for me, Austin.
Canelo is actually one of my favorite fighters. I rarely say who's my favorite fighters, but Canelo is one of my favorite fighters. And, I just feel like he is so experienced. I feel like he has seen so much, and I feel like he always rises to the occasion every single time. So, as I said before in my last interview, I think Callum-Smith has a chance if he establishes himself as a solid fighter. He cannot move around the ring. He cannot take an amateur approach at all against Canelo. He has to show that he's there to fight, and he can hurt Canelo. If he doesn't do that, he's going to lose. And I honestly think that he's going to lose by knockout if he cannot establish himself as a solid fighter. Because you get fighters like Canelo who thrive off of the engagement. They thrive off of stalking. They thrive off of making you miss those jabs and straights. He thrives off that. So if you're moving around the ring, throwing a lot of ones and twos and throwing them low, he'll come over top. Just watch his fight with Amir Khan. Amir Khan's lightning fast, but he never established himself as somebody who could stay in and actually hurt Canelo. So all of those fast ones and twos and stuff all just turned into kind of child's play for Canelo, and then he came over the top and destroyed him. I feel like Callum-Smith has a chance, but he has to fight a certain type of style of fight to win this fight.
You've sparred Callum-Smith previously. Talk to me about those experiences and what do you think, kind of going into Saturday night, you could give us in terms of what to expect from Callum on the back of your experiences?
Like I always say, I sparred Callum his first day back in the gym. And everybody knows your first day in the back, that's your most rusty day. You're just shaking off the dust, you know. And I had a good day. I had a great day sparring against him. But like I said, you can't judge a fighter off of their first day back in the gym. But what I did feel is that he has immaculate body punching. He has a great jab. Sometimes he allowed me to get into the inside a lot, way too much, you know. And I feel like you cannot allow Canelo to be on the inside. So from what I've seen in sparring with Callum was he has to establish himself a lot more. He has to show his strength, literally physical strength, a lot more against Canelo in order to be successful. And he has to establish himself. That's what I feel like I took from that fight, from that sparring match.
Final thing I want to touch on, Austin, something we haven't spoken about, something I know you've spoken about with many people before. During the kind of, I think it was May, August time, May, April time rather, we saw a video of yourself released some sparring.
Yeah.
You came under some criticisms for releasing that footage. Just kind of reflecting on that period and that experience, what did you take away from it all, and obviously the criticisms that followed?
What I took away from that, to be completely honest, was I would never in my life ever publicly apologize for something that I feel like I'm not wrong for. You know, the kid came into the gym. The coaches at my gym can attest for this. He told us he was a professional fighter, and he said he wanted to spar me in particular, and he talked a lot of crap, and I got in the ring. And not only did I not hurt him, I decided to work on some stuff that I had been working on. If it came off as bullying, then, you know, people just don't understand how the gyms work. You cannot come into a boxing gym and tell somebody what you're going to do to them or say you're gunning for a specific fighter, kind of call them out in their own home turf. You can't do that. That's just not something you do. If you want to come and you want to work and you're not experienced, that's how you present yourself. You present yourself as if you're not experienced, and that way they will put you in the ring with the right guy. If he didn't come into the gym and say what he said and things of that nature, he wouldn't have been in the ring with me. You know, the coaches wouldn't even allow that to happen. And again, if I wanted to actually knock the kid out, I would have thrown bigger shots to knock him out. I started playing around, having fun, as I should have. My coaches told me to pull back, and I did. But I was just in the gym doing my work. As I said before, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dentist. I'm not a school teacher. My job is to destroy people because there's people out there to destroy me. Not only just me, but my name. So I have to be protective over myself. I'm still new in the game. At the time, I was only 5-0. You know, I'm still a baby in the game as well. So however it came off to the people, I feel like I'm sorry if they didn't understand what happened. But as I said before, I know who I am. I know I'm a great guy. I help so many people around my city. I help so many people at the gym. I help my family out. I love my family. I'm a great guy. You know what I mean? I'm not in question as to who I am. So the only criticism I can say for myself is that I will never in my life ever publicly apologize for something that is not wrong. It's just not going to happen ever again.
Was you surprised at all by just how much of a backlash there was over social media, or was you kind of prepared for it?
No, I was definitely surprised, you know, because in my eyes, I felt like I took it easy. I took it light on the kid. I thought that everybody could see, like, I was pulling my punches. I was just kind of having fun with the kid. But the normal person couldn't detect that, I guess. But that was fine. You know, I got a lot of hate mail and stuff like that, and that actually hurt for a little bit. You know, I had to step away from social media for a bit. I thought that it wouldn't affect me in the way that it did, but it really did. And you know what? That just showed me that people want to tear down somebody doing great regardless. Whether you're a perfect person and whether you're not. People are going to hate you. People are going to love you. It doesn't matter. If you're doing something great, opinions are free. Everybody has them. You don't have to pay for an opinion. You don't have to pay for a comment. You don't got to pay. People send all these messages. I'll never see them in my life. I don't know who it is. So to give that energy, I just learned was wrong. And not only that, it made me stronger. It made me tougher. It made me super strong for what's to come. I know I'm going to be a world champion. I know I'm going to be a household name, a big name in the sport of boxing. I'm always going to have to deal with people, talking about me, saying something's wrong with me, assaulting my character, stuff like that. It does not matter. Like I said, everybody has an opinion. If I'm open to receiving that personally and all that, then I'll be a miserable guy. But it's literally just people. That's how they work. They see somebody down, they want to kick them while they're down. If somebody makes a mistake, they want to bash them. Especially in this age where you can be a warrior right behind the keyboard. So I did not expect that. I was trying to, as I said in my previous interviews, I was actually trying to give the people some excitement. The world was standing still. There was no fights. The boxing world was quiet. I'm like, hey, let Ammo come and save the day, and it backfired. But yeah, I got a different reaction than I was expecting, but I don't care,
Well, Ammo, I appreciate the honesty about all of that, and obviously it's great to catch up with you for the first time. As I say, it's been a long time since we've spoken. Best of luck on Saturday night. I'm sure I'll speak to you around the hotel, and thanks for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you, man. Hey, shout out to Boxing Social, shout out to my family, shout out to my friends. Everybody follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Ammo Williams, Facebook, Ammo Williams. Tune in Saturday night. I'm going to show why I'm different. I'm going to show why I'm special. And I'm going to have so much fun in there. So, I'm your next champion.
Thank you, Ammo.
All right.